And I'm hoping for Kung Fu Panda 4 to be their saving grace. I am hoping for Kung Fu Panda 4 be the epic DreamWorks movie I've ever seen. Welp, I hate it when I'm wrong. What's up, guys? Welcome to another review of BM345 Reviews. Today's review is on Kung Fu Panda 4. If I were to give an honest thought to the franchise, I'd say it's pretty great. The first one was pretty epic. It was an interesting way to set up the franchise, with interesting characters, great animation, and epic action scenes. The second one is absolute peak fiction. I consider it to be the best in the Kung Fu Panda series, as it deals with trauma and gives such messages as don't let past focus on you or distract you from the present, or don't let the past define who you are. Well, the third one may be the weakest in the series. It's still watchable and being a good film. I honestly thought that this was a good conclusion to end the Kung Fu Panda series until they decided to make a fourth one. I had mixed feelings on this. How could you continue on a film that already concluded? The third one didn't have anything planned or hinted that there was going to be a third one. It felt like it's a good ending. There's no need to make a fourth one at all. I feel that this franchise isn't planned from the very beginning, as it was supposed to have 6 films. If it's planned from the very beginning, then why the heck did it take them so long to make a 4th film? So now that the 4th film is out, let's start this Kung Fu fighting kicking butt review. Let's talk about the story. So the story is about Po is gearing up to become the spiritual leader of his belly of peace, but also needs someone to take his place as Dragon Warrior. As such, he will train a new Kung Fu practitioner for the spot and will encounter a villain named the Chameleon who conjures villains from Po's past. This story could have been good. Heck, it could have been Kung Fu Panda's best story ever told, but it depends on its execution. Was it executed good? It's not that good. Seriously, it's easy to guess as to what the heck would happen throughout this entire film. With the summary of the story, I could immediately guess that Shen would be the next Dragon Warrior. There's this subplot where Li and Ping go find Po to get their son from the Chameleon, which it's honestly funny, but what does that have to do with the rest of the story? It serves nothing but filler. You could easily take out the scenes with them and the movie would have been the exact same thing. Not to mention, this movie is the shortest Kung Fu Panda movie. Seriously, this movie is at least 1 hour and 26 minutes without the credits, which actually affects the pacing because this film has the most atrocious pacing I've ever seen for an animated film. How the hell did we went from Po fighting a stingray to Po choosing who's the next Dragon Warrior? Like, it's happening way too fast. The emotional scenes are flat. They don't even affect me, unlike the other ones, which took the time to explore and actually make me feel sad. This film plays it way too safe. This feels like this movie was made specifically for children. Is there anything good in the story? Well, yes. The moments with Shifu are pretty good. Some of the jokes made me laugh. And the references to previous Kung Fu Panda films are well done, but they only put it there just to please the fans. With so many issues that this story has, I'm extremely baffled from it. Like, how the hell did we went from Puss in Boots: The Last Wish to this? It doesn't really make sense. This has to be the most poorly written story I've ever seen for a Kung Fu Panda film. Now let's move on to the characters. Are they good? Well, they're a mixed bag. Starting with Poe, he has to be the most flanderized character in this film. This is the type of Poe that didn't learn anything from the first film, or even the third film. What's that speech that he say in the third film?
Am I the son of a panda? Son of a goose? A student? A teacher? Turns out, I'm all of them.
It seems like everything after 3 has been thrown out of the freaking window, as he's not accomplished everything since the third film. We don't get nothing interesting from him. I'm not saying that he's a bad character, I'm just saying that DreamWorks should have done something to him. Then there's Shifu, who's trying to help Poe to become the spiritual leader of Valley Peace, but he only appears at the beginning and at the end. Zhen, the new character, who's this thief fox character who works with the chameleon as her apprentice. She could have easily been an interesting character, but everything about her feels flat. They don't even take the time to explore the character more. They kind of feel like they rush through it in order to get to another scene. That's it. Is Awkwafina's performance in this film annoying? Well, no, not really. That doesn't save the fact that the character is uninteresting. Poe's dads have this pointless side plot trying to get Poe from the chameleon. Well, they're good characters. This seems kinda pointless, like I said before. And finally, let's talk about the villain, the chameleon, who's got to be the worst villain in the Kung Fu Panda series. She's not even threatening or interesting like the previous villains. Her only motivation as to why she's evil is because she was kicked out of Kung Fu centers and mentions about Mantis. So she decides to steal the Kung Fu abilities of the bad guys that Poe has faced. That would be interesting, but she only does it at the very end of the movie. The only threatening thing that she does is when she pushes someone down the freaking stairs. That's it. Not to mention how she's easily defeated by Poe's staff from the third film. The chameleon has to be the weakest character in the Kung Fu Panda series and also a worthless character. The villains from the previous films are completely out of character. They wouldn't just respect Poe like that. Don't they hate Poe's guts simply because they defeated them before? Did the writers even watch the previous films? It seems like they didn't even try it at all. Also, where are the Furious 5? The director promised that they would appear in the movie, but they only appear at the credits. Did Mike Mitchell just flat out lie to us? I'm pretty sure he did. Heck, the Furious 5 and Kai and Shen don't even speak in this film. They couldn't even get the voice actors for this. And finally, let's talk about the animation. The animation is great in this film. Sure, it has a cheaper budget compared to the other Kung Fu Panda movies, but it doesn't even affect it. It looks great. The locations, the action scenes, the characters, even Chameleon's transformations are well done in this film. The only criticism that I will give to the animation is that some of the character models don't even fit with the style of the Kung Fu Panda universe. For example, Zhen and the underground city citizens look like they came out of Zootopia. Nevertheless, this animation is still great. Is this Kung Fu Panda film bad? No. Is this Kung Fu Panda film better than 3? No. But I consider it to be weaker than Kung Fu Panda 3. Kung Fu Panda 4 may have some great animation, epic action scenes, comedy that's hilarious, and references to the previous films. Also, Jack Black's cover of Hit Me Baby One More Time is great, but it has a weak story that's on a fast pace, a weak villain, and how they flanderized Poe in this film. Not to mention that this film feels like it was made for kids rather than people who grew up watching the previous films. It feels like production issues happened during this film. They originally wanted to make a live action / animated hybrid film with humans, which thankfully that never happened, and one of the artists left the production of the film and never come back. And the reason why the Furious 5 don't even appear until the end credits is because they don't want to pay the actors simply because budgetary reasons. If you're interested as to what happened, I'll leave a link in the description down below. For my recommendation, if you're a Kung Fu Panda fan, then set your expectations very low on this one. Overall, I'm just gonna give this film a 6 out of 10. At least it's better than that Megamind sequel that just came out and people were hating on it. Anyways, see you guys until the next one. Bye.
My loneliness is killing me, and I must